Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Hindustan Oil Exploration Company Limited Q4 and FY24 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star, then 0 on your touch-tone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Sumit Singhania from Valorem Advisor. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Singhania.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody, and a warm welcome to you all. I am Sumit from Valorem Advisors. We represent the investor relations of Hindustan Oil Exploration Company Limited. On behalf of the company, I would like to thank you all for participating in the company's earnings call for the company's fourth quarter and the financial year ending 2024. Before we begin, let me mention a short cautionary statement. Some of the statements made in today's earnings call may be forward-looking in nature. Such forward-looking statements are subject to risks and uncertainties, which could cause actual results to differ from those anticipated. Statements are based on management's beliefs as well as assumptions made by the information currently available to the management. Audiences are cautioned not to place any undue reliance on these forward-looking statements in making any investment decisions. The purpose of today's earnings call is to purely educate and bring awareness about the company's fundamental business and financial quarter under review. Let me now introduce you to the management participating with us today in the earnings call and hand it over to them for the opening remarks. We firstly have with us Mr. R. Jivanandam, the Managing Director, and Mr. Krishnan Raghavan, the Chief Technical Officer. Without any further delay, I request Mr. Jivanandam to start with his opening remarks. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sumit. Good morning. Hope everyone has received the updated earnings presentation. It is on our website for your reference. I have with me Krishnan Raghavan, our Chief Technical Officer, and Daisy, our Company Secretary. At the outset, we would like to highlight some of the achievements that to be the first, such as we believe that we are the first company which secured an offshore block in discovered small fields with drones. One that has put the field on production within the stipulated time and shared the revenue with Government of India. We have paid rupees 160.5 crores to the Government of India as a revenue share for BAT block as on 31st March 2024. In addition, we have paid 10% of the total revenue as royalty to the Government of India, 88.53 crores as on 31st March 2024. Your company has for the first time in over 40 years made a consolidated turnover of 830.27 crores in the year 2023-24. Net profit after tax has also, for the first time in the company's history, crossed 225 crores. All subsidiary companies are in profit mode in the current financial year 23-24. Having said all about our achievements, I will now start with the operational updates about the Eastern region. Dirac gas sales for 23-24 is 1.95 BCF and condensate is 36,681 barrels compared to 3.11 BCF of gas and 58,768 barrels of condensate in the previous year. During the quarter, Dirac gas sale is 0.55 BCF and condensate is 10,917 barrels compared to 0.59 BCF of gas and 10,841 barrels of condensate in the previous quarter. Though this field can produce about 50 million cubic feet per day, we have to restrict the production due to lack of demand. Major players, oil and ONGC, are selling the gas at the price applicable for nominated blocks. We are selling the gas at the PPAC price without any discount. Therefore, the gas from the nominated field is sold first and the balance demand is met by us at PPAC price. The ceiling price fixed by the Government of India for nominated field is 6.5 per MMBTU. The price achieved by us under the PPAC is 8.82 per MMBTU in the current quarter. PPAC price for May 24 is 8.9 per MMBTU. Therefore, the customers who are mostly public sector undertakings would like to avail the low price from nominated fields of ONGC and oil. Once the common carriers start working and the grid connectivity is established, this situation will get reversed. We believe that once the DNPL line becomes a common carrier, there should be some uptick in the volume. CNGRP is in discussion with various stakeholders. We believe that once the IGGL lays its own line from Duliajan to Numligarh, which is about 180 kilometers, the demand constraint will further be eased out. This enables to fully establish the connectivity of the eastern gas grid to the central India. Also, this will ensure that an increase and stabilized offtake from 25-26 onwards to achieve the production to the full potential of the field. We have started the workover of Dirac-1 well. This well was completed with sand 12 and 15 with sand cream, which will be pulled out for further preparation and cleanup. While cleaning the sand 12 and 15, it is planned to test the sand 9 and 10 for hydrocarbons with Hindustan testing. On successful testing of sand 9 and 10, the potential of the block will be enhanced substantially in addition to the revision of the resource in the existing producing sands. Downside of this testing of sand 9 and 10 is only the limited additional cost during workover. After the workover of Dirac-1 well, Dirac-2 and 4 wells will be worked over. We process seismic data with the revised geological model, and the material balance is being reviewed by DCA, and we expect an increase in the recovery reserves of the field. After these workovers, we plan for additional 2 producers to ramp up to 70 million standard cubic feet per day. In effect, we keep ourselves ready to meet the potential increase in demand once the demand constraint is eased out by connecting Northeast gas to the national gas grid. Our subsidiary GeoEnpro is the operator of Karsten block, and the group has 35% participating in the block. After the review of the production data, continuous workover is planned for producing wells to maintain the current production as well as to increase the production. We plan for drilling 15 wells to increase the production from Upper Girijan and 1 exploration wells to know the potential of deeper formations such as Lower Girijan, Dippam and Bareil. Some of the workover and additional preparations are providing positive results, though this block is producing from Upper Girijan formation for over 40 years. Environmental clearance has taken considerable time, and on obtaining the clearance, we will embark on drilling immediately as the tangibles required such as wellers, exmarshes and tubulars were already procured and is in stock. We believe substantial upside is in Lower Girijan, Dippam and Bareil formations. This block will unlock substantial value after drilling the proposed exploratory well. With the connectivity of eastern gas grid to national grid, monetization of the gas discovery will be faster with a better price. HOC has 100% participating in this in a block AAONHP, the block 19 Dekal, adjacent to Dirac, said to be Greater Dirac. Reprocessing of the seismic data has been completed, and our GNG team has completed the review. GTO has been approved to drill an exploration well with 7 seismic signatures. Due to heavy rain, drill pad and approach road could not be constructed in time to move the rig for drilling before August 2024. We have made an application for 2 years RSC extension, and once the extension is received from MOPNG, we will drill 1 exploration well, and on success we will drill the second well also. In eastern region, the expected capital outlay for the next 2 financial years is about 250 crores, which will be further added if there is sustained demand for gas supply. Cambay block. In Cambay, the total contact area is about 38 per kilometer, with substantial number of wells for evaluation. Well data are being evaluated, and good potential exists in all the 3 blocks to enhance production. Once the ring-fence R2 PSC is signed, we could add additional value to the Cambay blocks. Currently, these fields are breaking even with a meager contribution to the P&L account. In Pali, it is planned to have artificial lifts in all 3 wells. We are planning for 2 development wells in Arjol and 2 in North Balol to increase the production as soon as we get the environmental clearance. EC was expected before March, however it is delayed. We have submitted the due clarification for all queries raised by the EAC, and we expect the clearance by June 24. Now I move on to offshore blocks. We are pleased to inform that B80 crude was sold at a price of $80.27 per barrel. First offloading of 430,000 barrels of oil was completed, and the total revenue of rupees 287.37 crores is realized in the first quarter of 24-25. Production from BAP field for the year 22-23 is 187,492 barrels of oil and about 1.85 BCF of gas, and for the current year it is 320,8 887 barrels of oil and 2.13 BCF of gas. Likewise, production in the last quarter was 95,000 barrels of oil and 0.45 BCF of gas, and the current quarter is 83,000 barrels of oil and about 0.32 BCF of gas. This reduction is mainly due to the blockage of the export flow line with intermittent time taken for chemical flushing to ease the obstruction. We would like to inform you that the D1 well was activated by removing the blockage by chemical injection. In-house team as well as Baker carried out the operation in March 24 and the well is fully activated. When the two wells flow was established, we once again found obstruction in the oil export line and so could not test both the wells for its optimum flow for a sustained period. We tried by using various chemicals to remove the blockage in the export flow line but unable to get the required flow rate to test both the wells. Therefore, we have mobilized the steam boilers and indirect water bath heaters with high capacity pumps to clean up the export flow line. The equipment and personnel are on board, and once all the equipment are lined up, we will shut the production for some minimum period, and after the due cleanup, we will line up both the wells. We earnestly hope that this will help us to test the optimum potential of the well D1 and D2 and get a sustained flow rate. This period of shutdown should be minimal, and we believe that the field will come up to normal production level by producing from both the wells. I move to FY1 offshore. We are having all facilities, pipeline, and other infrastructure required for evacuation of the gas and condensate. Current production from this field is minimal. Seismic data of this block was reprocessed, and our in-house GNV team has evaluated and released 3 drilling locations. We have also carried out a third-party expert review, which is echoing the views of our team. The uncertainty on the gas water conduct of north and south of the field is different, which is indicating the high volumes, which will again be reviewed by a firm of experts in London. After the third-party review, being in line with our in-house interpretations, we plan for 3 development wells, and if everything goes as per plan, drilling of the first well will commence in April to June 2025. Consequent to the issue of D1 well, which was resolved after a substantial time, and the continued low offtake of Iraq, we are unable to ramp up the production to the expected level. We are progressing with the upgrade in the resource of producing blocks by carrying out the material balance with the available production data. We have also lined up the capital program for about 1,000 crores in the next 3 years to build substantial number of development and exploratory wells. This will create value below the ground as well as above the ground and position the company with a reasonable and stable cash flow to achieve its objectives. Now I will update on the financial results. Standalone revenue for this quarter is 254 crores compared to 109 crores in the previous quarter. Revenue earned for the current financial year is 544.28 crores compared to 411.1 crores in the previous year. Revenue increased mainly from sale of PIT crude in the current quarter. PIT revenue for the current quarter is 203.57 crores compared to 48.43 crores in the previous quarter. This is mainly due to the oil sales. Current quarter increase is mainly due to the oil sales of 172.42 crores. PIT revenue for the current year is 354.47 crores compared to 144.05 crores in the previous year. In case of Dero, the revenue for the current quarter is 47 crores compared to 57 crores in the previous quarter. Revenue for the current year is 175 crores compared to 250 crores in the previous year. Field operating expenses for this quarter in the standalone account is 67.93 crores compared to 76.23 crores in the previous quarter. Operating expenses for the current year are 267.7 crores compared to 169.51 crores in the previous year. Other including DD, finance costs and others is 60.88 crores compared to 77.74 crores in the previous year. Value in stock in FSO as on 31st March is 33 crores, whereas the value in stock in FSO in the previous year was 73 crores. Standalone EBITDA for the current quarter is 29.45 crores compared to 16.74 crores in the previous quarter. Profit after tax in the current quarter is 19.1 crores compared to 4.82 crores in the previous quarter. EBITDA for the current year is 133.05 crores, standalone, compared to 223.17 crores in the previous year. This is mainly due to the reduction of revenue of Iraq by about 75.64 crores. Profit after tax for the year is 84 crores compared to 163 crores in the previous year. Major reasons for the decrease in profit is reduction in the revenue from Iraq and charges of facilities have increased from 187 days to 315 days. In consolidated accounts, the total revenue for this quarter is 330 crores compared to 193 crores in the previous quarter. This was due to crude oil sales from BAT block. Revenue for the current year is 830.27 crores compared to 592.2 crores in the previous year. We are reaching about $100 million turnover. The total operating cost in the consolidated accounts for the year is 552.15 crores compared to 358.31 crores in the previous year. For the current quarter, it is 241.54 crores compared to 137.2 crores in the previous quarter. Reasons for the difference, as stated, is the oil sales. Consolidated accounts EBITDA for this quarter is 77.67 crores compared to 80.14 crores in the previous quarter. EBITDA for the current year is 326.82 crores compared to 320.98 crores in the previous year. Consolidated profit after tax is 70.61 crores against 40.57 crores in the previous quarter. This increase is mainly to the exceptional item of 32.87 crores due to fair value adjustment of the existing share of Jio and Pro consequent to business combination. Consolidated profit before tax for the year is 248.29 crores compared to 197.29 crores in the previous year. Consolidated profit after tax for the current year is 226.43 crores compared to 194 crores in the previous year. As on 31st May 2024, the outstanding loan in the standalone account is 75 crores and in the subsidiary account is about 58 crores. The company has repaid the loan of 242 crores in the current financial year. The company has a stable rating for 500 crores, bank loan from India Ratings. With the current cash position and with the continued production, we will meet all our obligations, including the proposed work program for the coming 3 years as planned. That's all. We can open the forum for questions now.
Thank you. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on the touch-tone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handset while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question comes from the line of Rishabh Daga with Motilal Oswal. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, this is Abhishek. Am I audible?
Yes, Abhishek.
Yeah. Hello, sir. So just 2 questions. So one on BAT. So how long, could the shutdown be? And, once that is completed, then is it fair for us to assume that both the wells could produce, at the same level where they were before the whole incident happened? So I think at the gross level, they were doing about 3,000 odd barrels of oil equivalent per day. So that's my first question.
Thanks, Abhishek. And the work will be started. And we expect a very, very minimal duration of the shutdown for cleanup operations. So at the end of the day, it depends on the functioning of the equipment on board. So we believe it should be a very minimal period. And now both the wells are getting activated. We will be able to test the capacity of the well once the export line is fully cleaned up. Now, we believe we should be able to get back to the before cyclone on June 2023. But there might be some variation in the gas production, a little increase in the oil production. And we will test the flow for some time and we'll let you know.
Okay, that helps. And sir, if you can give us some updates on the Indradhanush gas grid, what is happening over there, and when can we expect progress on increasing yields from there, from the northeast sector?
Abhishek, what I understood is that lines are laid. Now the compressor and the connecting facilities are to be made. Once that is, it takes some time, and it should be operational at least by the third quarter and by all means by the fourth quarter. That's what we expect. Meanwhile, the DNPL line, we are planning for as a common carrier. Once that becomes a common carrier, then it will be further eased out and we will be able to ramp up the production little more than what we are doing now.
Okay. And DNPL line for now is, I mean, Oil India is using it or how does it work? And I think post common carrier you can also use it.
Yeah, I think Abhishek, it is a DNPL line is a contract carrier at the moment. Okay. So now it becomes a common carrier. I think I understood that the DNP chairman is visiting there, and the contract carrier has to become a common carrier. When it becomes a common carrier, you can, on tariff basis, you can pump the gas. That will get, once the grid connectivity is fully there, it can go to the central India. That's the idea.
Okay. Okay, perfect, sir. Thank you so much. I'll come back in the queue.
Thanks.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Vikram Kotak with Ace Lansdowne Investments. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for taking my question. Jiva, I have two questions, but one I think you answered already to earlier participant. What are the capex numbers for next 2 years? That's question one. And also, what is the oil and gas mix now in BAT for FY24?
See, Vikram, that capex plan for the 3 years is about 1,000 crores.
Okay.
And what happened, we have to, that major chunk of, for the BAT development, that is kept for the third year.
Right.
The previously, you can look at roughly around annual exposure is about some 300 crores per annum.
Right.
That will be supported by our cash flow.
Cash flow. Okay. Got it.
And mix as such, we are producing about, say, 1,200 barrels. Oil and gas is almost equal in BAT now.
Okay. Superb. Thank you. All the best. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Rishikesh with Robo Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for the opportunity. So my first question is if you could guide us for the net production for upcoming 1 or 2 quarters, and what net production are we targeting for FY25?
So because I don't go for any projections for this business basically, because many importance we have to come across. We can, as a reference projections, we would be improving our current production level once both the wells are flowing from the BAT. And if there is an increase in the demand from the Iraq field, because both will be the determinant factors for the coming financial year to increase the production.
Okay. So my second question is with respect to the BAT. Hello, am I not audible?
Tell me, what is the question?
Yes. My question is with respect to BAT. Since the chemical is not fixing export loan, are we now mobilizing the rig, and when can we expect to get to the optimum production level?
See, we are in the process of cleaning up the export flow line. Once the cleanup operations are over, then we will be testing the wells for some period. After we can get a choke site set on it and get the pressure stabilization, and then we will be observing for about 7-8 days, and that would be called as a sustained cash flow of the well. So that way we will test both the wells in such a manner, then we will commingle both the production, and that would be determined as the level of production from the field.
Okay. Also, if you could share the revenues from Iraq and BAT for Q4.
We wanted to know the revenue from the
Iraq field and from BAT.
I just read it actually. I can tell you Iraq is quarter 4 is about 47 crores. And B80 is, you have to look at one abnormality because the entire crude oil which was stored has been sold, which is about 203 crores.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Rohit with Samatva Investment. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. So my first question is the problem at BAT right now. So will it be impacted by the weather window? So do we expect it to get the work done before monsoon, or will it get postponed after the monsoon?
See, I think we have carried out all the precautionary measures, and the inspection and change of houses and the maintenance of the SBM is carried out, and underby hose inspection also carried out. And now no one can predict the fury of the monsoon. So that's the position as such. To ourselves, we are fully prepared for meeting any eventuality.
So basically, it can be done during the monsoon itself. So
yeah, that's right. Before the monsoon itself, we have taken care of it. We changed the houses, and we did carry out the SBM maintenance, and we did inspect the underby hose. We believe that we have taken adequate precautions, but weather remains to be unpredictable by anyone.
So right now in Q1, what is the production for BAT?
For quarter 4, isn't it?
So for quarter 1, so the plant, so both the wells are not functioning right at the level that we want to. So right now is the both the wells shut, or are we producing at lower levels?
So we are today, because of the blockage of the flow line, we will not be able to tell the exact volume, which comes little more on one well, little less on the other well. So we will be able to get back to the normalcy once the cleanup is completed.
Okay, got it. So my second question would be, so if you look at BAT overall, it's been 3-4 years, since we started the field. There have been multiple delays, certain things which have not been in our hand. So I just want to know, because of the various problems that have happened in the field, will there be any impact on, the overall production? So we were targeting to be around 7,000 barrels. So do you see any change in those numbers? Any impact on those numbers because of the various problems happened over the last 3 to 4 years?
Actually, if I tell you precisely, we have started on June 4th of 2022, about 2 years now. I agree with you. Now, see, we are not worrying too much about the below the ground reserves. And the above the ground facilities are hampering us, which we are trying to solve one by one. And if we sustain this production level, we will be planning for drilling 3 more wells to fully exploit the block. The expenditure level should be around $50 million. So that's what we plan 2 years down the line. Once we reach to that level, we can reach to the plate of production level what you are indicating to me. With the current 2 wells, we won't be able to reach to the level.
Got it. So overall, there is no change once the problems get solved. We can still reach the levels that we wanted to be earlier, right?
What happened, the current production level of before June 2023 can be continued, but you reach to the level of the number you indicated to me, more than 5,000 barrels and gas and other things, could be possible only after drilling the additional 3 wells, which entails with a cost of about $50+ million. That we are planning at the end of the planning at the 3rd year now. First 2 years we will concentrate on our onshore and 1 well at the offshore. BAT will get back to building up, producing from 5 wells only on 2026-27. Sorry, 27-28.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir, and all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Manan Mundra, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity, sir. My question is regarding the DROC fee. Just wanted to understand currently the reduction in the sales volume in the DROC field, is it due to the supply side pressures or the demand side pressures?
If the wells are intact, we can be able to supply 45 to 50 million cubic feet per day even tomorrow morning. But the fact remains we don't have the demand for that uptake. That's the reason we have to curtail ourselves.
Okay. And once the northeast grid gets connected and the central grid gets connected, the demand is going to pick up. But just wanted to understand, is it going to impact the premium prices that we are charging? Because I'm supposing the gas flow is bi-directional in the flow line. So can you please clarify on that?
What happens, you get a better price because it gets connected to the national grid. So the additional cost to you would be only the tariff on the line. Tariff for pumping the gas into the line. You will be getting the price what is in the western region, you should be getting the price in the same in the eastern region. But what you have to minus only the tariff charges. So in effect, we should be able to always get around PPAC price.
Okay, and that includes, after netting of the transmission charges, right?
That's right. So we have to look at, because if the price also will move up, once it's connected to the national grid. So any increase on that price will certainly offset by the increase in the cost on account of tariff.
Okay. My second question is on the Kharsang field. We are planning to increase our output and having more exploration wells in that part, right? So how do we, is there already a pipeline for extracting the oil or how is it done currently and what are the future plans on that?
So Kharsang asset, there is Oil India is also operating in that area. So about 26 kilometer line is to be laid, then it will connect it to the grid. I don't know the exact name of that place which we visited also. It is about 26 kilometer line only is to be laid to connect it to the eastern grid, then it will automatically get into the national grid. So there will not be any problem on monetization once we drill and complete those wells.
Thank you. Mr. Mundra, please rejoin the queue for more questions. A reminder to all the participants, please restrict yourself to 2 questions. Next question comes from the line of Bhavik Shah with MK Ventures. Please go ahead.
Since when these wells have been shut, like what can you give us the date or the week since when they're not functioning?
I couldn't get that question.
So we are currently having some shutdown in our D1 well, right?
No, the shutdown is because of the reservoir blockage that has been rectified. Now both the wells are fully active.
Okay, so for how long was this shutdown?
No, future it will be a very, very limited duration, and our people are working at the field as we speak, and we will let you know once the line cleanup is over.
Thank you. Mr. Shah, please rejoin the queue for more questions. Next question comes from the line of Anushri with Alpha Invesco. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Congratulations, sir, for activation of both the wells. So my question is regarding, so any idea what could be the oil and gas production from D1 and D2 wells respectively after the export line is cleared? I believe we had guided for a 3,000 BOE from BAT in our last call. Is that the number we will be sticking with, or what is your expectation?
So I wish my wishful projection is 3,000 barrel of oil equivalent per day, but we should be certainly reaching to a level of 2,500 as by the reference what we observed last 2 days.
Okay. And sir, how many days was the D2 well operating in the last quarter?
D2 well was operating on, and it was almost on a continuous basis. But except for some intermittent shutdown of 4 hours in a 4 hours, 3 hours like that for injecting the chemicals.
Thank you. Ms. Anushri, please rejoin the queue for more questions. Next question comes from the line of Tejas Shah with Unique Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Yeah. What is in our outcome of meetings? You have mentioned MD, I think, now supposed to be disclosures or decide on the disclosures and inform. So can we understand what exactly went in the meeting and what is decided?
What is it? What is the question? They just I couldn't get it.
The disclosures, what is given to be given to the stock exchanges. In your outcome of meeting, you mentioned that now the board has decided on some policy, and that I think yourself is going to decide on the material event and inform the exchanges. So can we understand what happened in the meeting and what is going to decide?
So this is based on the SEBI guidelines. They put a threshold actually that we updated in the policies.
I did not get the answer. Like in the announcement and the mail regarding the activation of everything.
We have updated our disclosure requirements in our governance in accordance with the SEBI LODR.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Can we understand when the D1 well was activated? Which date?
We have activated the well on 2 occasions. First of all, we have to see that well activation is not a switch on, switch off type. We have to see that the well is getting activated and stabilizing the flow. And then what is the back pressure it is having with the existing facility. So many parameters we have to check. And every time we wanted to see this well is in a good condition to flow continuously. That we have established in the end of March. But we were not able to test the flow rate. So that's why we couldn't come back and inform, so this would be the well activated and this would be the flow rate and other things, because of the blockage in the flow line. Now we were trying with the chemical injections to clear up the blockage. That was not so successful. So now we are mobilizing a steam as well as the hot water, and both the things will be as we speak. It is on the platform, and they will do the cleanup operation. Once the cleanup operation is completed, we will put the well and observe a sustained flow. Once the sustained flow is confirmed, then we will accordingly inform.
Thank you. Mr. Shah, please rejoin the queue for more questions. Next question comes from the line of Rushabh, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
हेलो. हाँ जी, नमस्कार सर. मेरा आवाज आपको आ रहा है?
बढ़िया आ रहा है.
हाँ, फैंटास्टिक. सर पहले तो बहुत बहुत बधाई है आपको. बहुत बढ़िया काम कर रहे हो, बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हो. एक चीज खाली समझना था कि आपका ये जो खारसंग है कि बीएटी है, अभी इतना पैसा आया है, तो क्या आप 100% टेक ओवर कर लोगे, उसको खुद का बना लोगे कि ऐसे भागीदारी में रखोगे इन लोग के साथ?
हम लोग का इतना हम लोग का आजकल में 2 फील्ड में आते प्राइस में खरीदते हैं, आते कॉस्ट में चलाता है, राइट? तो
नहीं समझा क्या कह रहे हो?
एवरीथिंग एट अ प्राइस, राइट? प्राइस तो रीजनेबल होता तो खरीदेगा.
अच्छा, तो ऐसा कुछ प्लान वगैरह है आपके पास? मतलब ऐसा थिंकिंग प्रोसेस है कि कर सकते हो?
प्लान तो नहीं है एक्चुअली. कोई काम हो गया तो आपको बता देगा.
अच्छा, थैंक यू सो मच सर। और सर ये अपना बेकर वालों ने क्या काम किया, थोड़ा डिटेल में समझाओगे, और आप आगे ऐसा क्या करने वाले हो जो बेकर वाले नहीं कर पाए, जिससे अपना चालू हो जाएगा?
कि अपना लोग भी अभी थोड़ा नॉलेज हो गया इसका बारे में क्या करना है। बैकर इज एन एक्सपर्ट, रिनाउंड एक्सपर्ट। वो कुछ केमिकल है, उसका ब्रांडेड केमिकल है, वो हमको कॉम्पोजिशन नहीं बताएगा। वो दे हैव पंप्ड द केमिकल्स टू रिमूव द ब्लॉकेज, वो तो कर दिया एक्चुअली हम लोग भी अभी करेगा इन द मैनर दैट वंस इन 2 months 3 months में करेगा, तो फर्दर ब्लॉकेज इज नॉट हैपनिंग देयर।
Thank you. Mr. Rishabh, please rejoin the queue for more questions. Next question comes from the line of Parshava, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, sir.
Am I audible?
Yeah, please.
Sir, my question is in regards to the previous question by Mr. Rishabh. What is it that Baker guys did, and why they were not able to fix it till now? Being the expert, they should have been able to fix it. So why were they not able to fix it, and why do you think that you will be able to fix it, that they were not able to fix it? That is first thing. And with the same question, another question comes like in the same thing, that are we changing any directly the line or the pipes or the hose right now when the team is being mobilized currently, or not? Because if there is problem in the line, I remember you mentioning in previous con call that we already have that hot flush line there, which is already installed in our facility. So what new are you going to do it right now that will help us to fix the problem?
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you. The backer was mobilized for well activation, which they did, and both the wells are active now. Right? The
so when wells are flowing, you mean to say, when you say active, does that mean wells are flowing?
The activated means the wells can flow once it is having the line. The line means without, I have a limited storage as such, so I cannot store the oil at the mopu. So once the line is fully cleaned up, both the wells can flow to its optimum capacity, right? Till the time, if I wanted to flow more than 32 barrels or 40 barrels, the line gets choked. So that's the problem. Okay, we will clean up that line. Second thing is your question on it. We were talking about we have made an insulation on the top side, as we have told in the last time. Then we have installed an IB indirect water bath heater. This is all functional now, but the temperature required we couldn't achieve it. The main reason for it, uninsulated rises about 95 meters, and that also we are planning to insulate. In essence, there is an element of heat is required in the oil is getting pumped into the export flow line. If the temperature is high, then there would not be any wax formation. If the temperature is low, that continue to have a wax formation. This is the process, and we are learning, and we know how to clean up in once in 3 months. So we are the first time attempting with the steam and the indirect water bath heater to get the maximum heat getting into the line. The wax appearance temperature, wax disappearance temperature, you look at 80 degrees, it will melt about 52%, and 90 degrees, it will melt about 65%. So we are attempting to clean up the line as much as we can with this steam. Once this is done, we believe that there would not be any further obstruction on using the chemicals on a continuous basis, and this process we will continue once in 3 months to enable us that there is no blockage in the export flow line. Okay?
Thank you. Mr. Parshva, please rejoin the queue for more questions. Next question comes from the line of Sunil Jain with Nirmal Bang. Please go ahead.
Yeah, continuing on this, Becker has resolved the other problems, and once the line get clear, then those problems got fully resolved or not, we will come to know thereafter. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And the flow line is not a one-time problem. It's a continuous problem, and you need a continuous solution for that. Whatever the solution you come out, that will be there for continuous process.
What happened? There is a wax in the food. The wax deposition should get arrested. Once you have the clean line, further deposition can be arrested by injecting the chemicals. We identified some chemicals therein, and we will pump it along with the crude, so that will stop further accumulation of the wax in the line.
Thank you. Mr. Jain, please rejoin the queue for more questions. Next question comes from the line of Mohammed Patel with Care Portfolio Managers Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. In the last call, you mentioned that by FY26 we can do net 10,000 BOEPD. Can you give a broad range of what can VAT, Xerox, and other fields contribute in this number?
See, on the giving any projection is depending on the continuous production of the BAT and our uptake in the Xerox. Then what we are planning for the ramp-up in the Carson, and some ramp-up in the small contributions will come also from Western region. So two already existing assets can increase the production, and the new assets based on our program of drilling and other things workovers, we will be able to increase it.
Can you give a broad range how much can?
I think it's too premature to give me any guidance on this.
Thank you. Mr. Patel, please rejoin the queue for more questions. Next question comes from the line of Pradyumna Dalmia with Lansdowne Investment. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Good morning, afternoon, rather. My question is kind of in continuation to, I guess, the previous question that was asked. See, sir, for us as investors, we like a certain degree of predictability and not too many surprises. But I have been following our company for the last 5 years, and there has been a lot of, ups and downs and unpredictable surprises coming our way. And even now, we are unable to really estimate, what the current year or the future holds. So in that sense, it makes it very difficult for us as investors to really on how to value the business, So what in your view, sir, is a timeline that you can say that, okay, maybe in this time period, we will be in kind of a steady state where we'll be able to, sustainably and safely predict our revenues and our production, etc. Because every year it's been kind of very topsy-turvy, and that puts us in a bit of a fix on how do we really value the company or the business. Any thoughts you can share on that to help us?
I would like to submit one fundamental fact. Oil and gas business is, there are two ways. You are looking at only from the monetization, that is above the ground value. But the below the ground value also matters a lot. Now, this company is sustainably increasing its reserve and resources base over a period. Now, that reserves and resource basis have to be monetized. There are certain setbacks on monetization because of certain things are beyond our control. For example, we are ready to flow the gas, but there is no demand at Eastern region. Similarly, monsoon fury is not in our predictions. Yes, we did not a great job on our topside facility. That has created some problems on the PATC. Then it is a learning for us, and we are trying to fix it up. As you see that uptime of the facilities of 22-23 was about 60%, that we have increased to 86% in 23-24. So these are the ways we are also trying to our best to get on to it. Then what happens when the price is not in our hands. The price moves up and down. then accordingly the things going on. As an oil and gas company, I am comfortable to say that to you, the underlying value of the assets are increasing. It is substantial. But the monetization to the expected level is not getting reached. Even to our wishful projection, we are not able to achieve because certain factors are beyond our control.
Correct.
But we believe that next financial year, once the Iraq production comes and the stability on DAT production and drilling of Kherson and some of the workovers which are doing it in Iraq and the wells to be drilled in western region, this will all give some more stability in a growth with growth.
Okay, sir. Thank you. No, we have been very patient with the company, and I think the company has a lot of value, as you said. But we will be more patient for another year or so, and hopefully by next year, as you said, the thing stabilizes and we are able to, go on a predictable path forward and reach the production levels that make us happy.
So
Thank you, sir.
It is our endeavor. It is our wishful projection also. We should do better by monetizing the existing assets as well as creating the new assets. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, please restrict yourself to 2 questions. Next question comes from the line of Pavik Shah with MK Ventures. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. So it's really disappointing to see that how the mediator is handling the call. We're not even allowed to answer a question, a follow-up, or even a second question. Like, this call is in a hurry or something, or what? So let that be aside. My second question was, so what is the capex plan for like FY25? Can you just break it up into segments? Where are you going to invest, and what are the return ratios you are seeing there?
See, our capex plan, I told you, 1,000 crores, which will be every year we are planning to spend about 300 crores. You would have seen the last financial year, 23-24, we have repaid the loan to the extent of 245 crores. So that now current financial year onwards, we will be embarking on the investment, and we could have got some more investments made on the Kherson, which we could not do due to environmental clearance.
So all the 300 crores will go basically to Kherson for this year. Is that what you mean?
No, it is for, I'll tell you that we will be going for about drilling the wells and working over and creating a facility. In Northeast, it is about some 250 to 300 crores. If the demand picked up, we will drill more wells there. And we plan some earmark for something on the western region and something on the PY1. And the last year, we are 2 years down the line, we will be again going for drilling 3 wells as planned in the DAT.
Thank you. Mr. Shah, please rejoin the queue for more questions. Next question comes from the line of Anushri with Alpha Invesco. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. I had another question is, in the PY1, do we have the 8-slot well platform installed, and post all the drilling, and when do you expect the production to start from PY1?
So PY1, we have carried out the seismic reprocessing and third-party review. Our team has released the 3 drilling locations. This will be again reviewed by an expert firm in London. Once it is through, the first well we are planning in June 2025. That's what our plan at the moment. Once the wells are drilled and we are determined the flow rate, then we can tell you actually what is the quantity we will be able to pump it.
And sir, is the platform ready? Okay. And
the platform there, it is a subsea well.
Okay, so the infra is ready, is what I'm asking.
Absolutely, all we can evacuate up to 55 million cubic feet of gas and about 2,000 barrel of condensate. But unfortunately, our 4 wells are not capable of producing more than 1 million cubic feet of gas. And with 3 planned wells, there should not be any constraint on the facility, and we will be able to quickly monetize once the drilling and completion and the facilities are getting connected to the platform.
Thank you. Ms. Anushri, please rejoin the queue for more questions. Next question comes from the line of Shyam Garg with Ladrock Finance Limited. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity, sir. Most of my questions have been answered. My first question is with respect to what is the approximate operational days of BAT in Q1?
So, Q1 or
Q1 FY25 for this quarter.
For this quarter, right? So this quarter is the entire 91 days out of that except 5. Intermittently, you can take the number of hours we shut down. It's about 4 hours, 5 hours together. We were roughly around 25 days we were on production.
Sorry, sir, your voice was very feeble.
Pardon?
Your voice was very feeble. I was not able to hear.
About 25 days. Can you hear us now?
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for answering my question.
25 days on the last month, right?
Thank you.
The last quarter, 75 days.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Anik Mitra from Phenomics. Please go ahead.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
Thanks for taking my question. Sir, I have a couple of questions. First question is regarding BAC. You made around 200 crore in Q4. And sir, currently what I understood that you were running with one well. So considering 2 wells fully operational, so is it correct to compute around 400 crore of revenue from BAC? This is my first question. And sir, regarding Xerox, the second question is regarding Xerox. You said like around 200 million standard cubic feet you have explored in Q4. And you're connecting the national gas grid, you will be able to produce around 70 million standard cubic feet. So once this line would get connected, so can we expect, you made 56 crore in Q4, I think. So can we expect, it will be 3 times, means in that case, your revenue, your output will grow up to 3 times, from 23 million to 70 million. So can we expect around 150 crore of revenue once it will be fully operational? So this is my second question.
Yes, you can look at that Xerox. 22-23, we have produced about 3.1 BCF of gas for our share and about 58,000 barrel of oil. In 23-24, it was about 2 BCF of gas and about 36,000 barrel of condensate. So that net revenue before finance cost was about 191 crores on 22-23, has got reduced to 170. We virtually lost about 73 crores. So the thing would get reversed when we reach to the level of production of 22-23 and it gets into the multiples, the similar numbers will get reflected.
Thank you. Mr. Mitra, please rejoin the queue for more questions. Next question comes from the line of Rikesh Parikh, an Absolute Advisor. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity. This from BAT, I think so our agreement for the gas price sale is getting expiring. So can you give some thought on the how we are going to take it forward here on this?
I think we have got e-auction completed, and the price we will be now getting is about 12.2% of the Brent price, which was much higher in the previous year. It's about 22%, now reduced to 12%.
Okay, so if proportionately, if you have to look at it in terms of around $16 odd what we got realization, that will reduce to around $12 odd.
Yeah, that's right. It will be around 12.2% of the Brent price.
Thank you. Mr. Parikh, please rejoin the queue for more questions. Next question comes from the line of Rohit with iThought PMS. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I had the same question on the repricing of the gas from BAT. So this is, you think that this is 12% of the crude, right?
Yeah, 12% of the Brent price.
12% of the Brent price. Understood. And sir, in terms of BAT, the pending issue that we are trying to do with the export flow pipe. So there, I was not clear. So is it contingent on the monsoon or it is not contingent on the monsoon? Can you explain that? I was not able to understand that. And any timelines you are sort of talking about? And has the work already started, or are we waiting for some equipment? If you can just maybe explain that.
The equipment is already on board. They will be starting the work once they line up the. It may be taking a couple of days, and that's the period we'll go for a small period of shutdown. And once the line cleaned up, we will again reconnect both the wells. And second thing regarding the query on the monsoon, we endeavor to operate during the entire monsoon period. But see, the monsoon fury you cannot predict. That's the issue. If any, but we fully prepared to operate during the monsoon, normal monsoon.
Thank you. Mr. Rohit, please rejoin the queue for more questions. Next question comes to the line of Vishal Prasad with PP Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi. Sir, approximately 280 crores we got out of crude. So what was our share out of 280 crores and what was our share of the profit?
So see, we always look at our participating in this, which is 60%.
Okay, so out of 250, 60% is the revenue as well as profit.
That's right. The rest of things will be get adjusted for the outstanding cash flows of the other party.
Okay. Another question is, I think it's been happening for last 2 years, and I have asked a lot of times, and others have also done it. So, in your view, when you see at BAT, I mean, how are you going to solve the continuous problems that we are facing, and is there an end date to the problem?
I think I would like to tell you one thing. So we built the wells successfully, and the topside facilities having the issues initially. Now, the way it has been implemented, that was during the COVID period. So we were in a difficult situation, but we implemented the project. Now we will be able to solve the problem one by one, and because it is too difficult, it is like a structure and which has already been installed. There's no possibility of just throwing it away and get a new one done. So every small issue comes as and when we are rectifying it. Now, being an offshore, you have to look at the uptime of the facilities. You look at the uptime of the facilities of 22-23, it was about 60%. Now it has gone more than 88%. So in a manner that we will gradually improve, it comes around 90 to 95%. So that's what we are planning for it, and it is a learning ground for us because the crude quality of the crude is waxy, and it was not expected that this congealing of the wax deposition would be so high in the flow line. That was not anticipated. Now, considering that's happening now, we have to take a preventive measures. So that's the reason once the line is getting fully flushed out, we have to put a chemical which not allowing the further deposition of the wax. But this is a continuous process now to keep the facilities always in proper maintenance as well as the lines thereon. So we are learning and we will be doing better work in the coming years. That's the way before we embark on 3 more well drilling, we should be in a position that our facilities can handle the additional volume without any issue. That's what we are planning for.
Thank you. Mr. Prasad, please rejoin the queue for more questions. Next question comes from the line of Tejas Shah with Unique Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
No, my question is answered. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Dhruv Ravani with Street Chief Finserv LLP. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Is my voice audible?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So my question was on the exploration block of 2017-19, which is in the Dirok field. So is it going to be a gas and oil field, or can you just share any data on that?
Our prognosis at the moment is more of a gas.
Okay. And my second question is, sir, can you just share any policy updates on the terms of government in terms of domestic oil and gas exploration, in the terms of how OLOP has performed over the past 4-5 years, and what do you see forward in terms of domestic oil and gas exploration?
I think there is an OLOP. There are many blocks have been offered, and recently also they put some blocks which is taken by somebody, which is getting recycled. So we believe that most of the blocks which is discovered will be coming for auction, and that's the time we will also, having our experience in both offshore and onshore, we will be able to get into some of the blocks at a reasonable bidding.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Mohammed Patel with Care Portfolio Managers Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I request the moderator to allow me to ask the follow-up question. So my question is, margins in FY24 has fallen significantly and more so in Q4. So what is the major reason for this?
Which is the one? I'm sorry, I couldn't get the question exactly. Can you just tell me?
Margins in FY24 has fallen from FY23 levels, and the Q4 margins are relatively lower. So what is the major reason for this fall?
See, we were in the similar line of 22-23 comparing to 23-24, because what has happened was there was about some 80 crore reduction on account of some 75 crore actually, that is the reduction in the Dirok, and about 55 to 60 crore increase in the DAT. So what is happening is Dirok, we have lost some of the revenue in Dirok because of the lack of demand, and we have done some better performance in DAT that get offset. So when both the things are doing well, we will be doing much better. That is, the Dirok goes to 35 to 40 million cubic feet of gas, which was done once upon a time. Similarly, if the DAT continued and stable production for at least 90% of the uptime, we will be better off.
So can we expect the margins to go back to FY23 levels by the next year, or will it take longer?
I think we will be doing better. That's what we believe in. But it's one of many importance which is not in our control.
Okay.
Mr. Patel, are you done with the questions?
Yes.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Gautam Rajesh, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. I had two parts to my question. Can you explain me the economics of the BAT project? What would be the fixed cost on a daily or an annual basis, and what are the variable costs in terms of, let's say, royalties, etc., as a percentage of the revenue?
Okay, the variable cost, because the facilities are getting resourced, most of them, that is the MOPU and FSO are owned by us. And total cost, because that is like if you take it from any third-party contractor, you have to pay that money. That is the fact of the matter. So it's about $140,000 per day. Okay, now that you divided by 2,500 barrels oil equivalent, that would be the per barrel cost, right? That is more or less fixed actually. And we have a little leeway because if there is a delay in payment or not making, being our own facility, we can run that. With that, if you take standalone DIT with the government share, we are not making much money. But in commingled with our other assets, we make money.
Okay, sir. And as a subsidiary, you mentioned MOPO and FSO has leased out BAT. What would be the revenue and EBITDA margins that HOAC would make? And what are the operating or running costs in the subsidiary? Does the revenue also, would the revenue get impacted with the minimal shutdown you had mentioned when the wells becomes non-operation? And if so, how much would that be?
To tell you your question, the revenue we will be charging when there is a production there into it. Certain costs are not the other for example, helicopters and offshore support vessels, which we have to pay irrespective of the fact unless they are shut down on their own. Irrespective of whether the field is operational or not. But in case of MOPO and FSO, we will be charging only when the field is on production mode, not otherwise. Right? If you take the $140,000, the day that we don't make a much EBITDA on the Q4 of BAT, it is on negative, and Q3 also negative. So unless the production improvement takes place, we will not be able to make much money in the BAT.
Okay, and just to clear out, the shutdown would not have great impact as of now, like on the revenues.
No, it's not a question of shutdown impacts the revenue to us, because if there is a field shutdown, then we are, because of our facilities are not operational, then that takes a hit on our account also, right?
Yes, sir, but like, could you give like a ballpark on how much would that affect us in terms of revenue, any rough numbers or anything like that, or a percentage?
It's a charge thing. Like a third party contractor, he will be charging me, I have to pay for it, right? Luckily, we have got the MOPO and FSO is owned by HOEC, a subsidiary. If it is some third party contractor, BAT wouldn't have been there at all. That's what I would like to say that clearly.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Vivek Joshi with BP Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations on your continuous efforts to make the wells viable and a good performance, good steady performance. I just wanted to understand, you mentioned that the rate for the entire BAT gas has been changed from 22% crude to 12% crude?
Yeah, because that's the rate. See, what happened, it is going with akin to the Western India market rates for LNG imports. The LNG is getting around $11 to $12. We are not able to get more than that. So that's the reason that the prices are fixed in akin to the Brent price. Brent is going around $8 to $80.
Realization for the entire last year for BAT gas was $15. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's about 23-24 was the price was average price was about $16, 15.86. That will stand reduced to now $10 to $11.
That is a state revenue which will be there in the top price. Is that the correct understanding?
That's right. That will be impacting us. But at the same time, it is having a revenue share will come down to some extent. So overall, you are right. It will impact us.
Yeah, okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Nigel, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. I just had one question about DROC. Once the connection to the Northeast gas grid happens, and then the production scales up to, let's say, 60 to 70 million standard cubic feet per day, what will be the economics for it then? Like, how much will the revenue share for the royalty for the government be, operating expenses and the margins?
This is an old production sharing contract, because the government share will go around maybe 20 to 30%. But that will, our top line and as well as the bottom line will increase in proportion to our current volume. So if your current volume is say 20 million cubic feet of gas on an average, if it goes to 60, it will be triple that.
All right. And also, by when can we expect this connection to the northeastern gas grid to happen and see the production ramp up as well?
It's handled by the respective government companies. So we are not privy to it, but when we talk to them, we expect that should get fully commissioned by 25-26.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Mohammed Patel with Care Portfolio Managers Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Sir, now both wells are operational BAT, so will we be funding the capex from internal accruals?
We plan for it, no borrowings anymore. They will be all capital expenditure through internal accruals. You could have seen we have about 300 plus operating cash flow. That will be pumped into our capital investments.
Okay. And what is the shutdown duration for BAT from which date to which date, if you can help, there's a little bit of confusion.
So there is the shutdown as such, we have looked at the operational uptime was about 88% last year. And this year we will be further improving on it. But the production related shutdown, we expect maybe about whatever the line flushing it takes. It may be 2 days or may go up to 5-6 days. We will let you know once the job is completed.
I was asking more from Q1 perspective. So we are doing this steam thing in the well, right? So how much shutdown duration will be for that?
See, it's a job now. The equipment and everything is functional. It is a matter of days. It's about a couple of days. If some equipment is not functional, it will take more time. So predicting the time, it's all you can say less than about 7 days. 7 to 10 days. That's the time.
Okay. And if you can just tell us the revenue from Derock, BAT, Kharsang and Cambay for full year FY24 versus FY23?
You want for each item actually that Derock, it was the revenue net revenue is about 250 crores, got reduced to 161 crores. And then what else you wanted to know? Derock, other than Kharsang, is a very minimal contribution. It is not much. So we are ramping up the production by drilling the new well. And the BAT, when you look at the whole thing as such, it is about 175 crores in the last year. That has gone up to 260 crores in the current year.
And Cambay?
Cambay is a very negligible sum. It is about overall contribution is less than a crore.
Okay. I have one last question if I can. So we have reserves of 40 MMBOE as of FY23. So what could be the estimated life of this reserves in number of years?
See, normally reserves and reserve replacement ratio, we would like to have, that's where we were drilling the well and we wanted to testing the sands which has not been tested to increase the reserve base, which will be in a manner that when we monetize, we will be still having the reserves and resources left in the company in a manner over a long period. So we are expecting this fields and the potential and are looking at a minimum period of at least 15 to 20 years comfortably.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Rikesh Parikh with Absolute Advisors. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the follow-up question. Sir, with respect to PY1, want to understand, have we finalized the rig for the processing?
So we have not finalized the rig per se, that's a fact. But we are waiting for some expert appraisal on it. And our people have given us 3 drilling locations. In-house team has done a detailed work on it. That has been reviewed by one Clara. She is also an expert in the basement research. And both the things are doing the same thing. But still, to be abundantly cautious, you know the status, you know what has happened in the block in the past. We don't want to repeat it. To be abundantly cautious, we are getting a firm engaged to review the whole thing again. Once the review is completed, and then we will start finalizing the rig.
So when can we expect the drilling to start as such? It will be fourth quarter?
I think drilling we are planning for June, I said to you, the next financial year.
Next financial year. Okay. Thank you. That's it from me, sir.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Uday Warnekar, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
So we have a operating stake in PY3. So I believe it will be going online this year, as they have already done a vessel contract with the vessel. So are we going to hold that stake, or are we going to exit that stake in that field? What are the plans?
In our mind, we still hold, and we believe we are holding 21% of the participating interest in the block. As at the moment, there is no progress to us, and if they come out with the details of what have been done, so we will decide whether to get back into that or not. If it is economical to us, we will certainly get back to our rights.
Okay, fine. Thanks.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Manan Patel, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir, and congratulations for getting both wells activated. Hopefully, the journey from here on will be smoother. Sir, my question is on PY1. You have mentioned that PSC has been extended to 2030, but from the timelines that you give, most likely the production might start only in 27 or 28. So how do we see in terms of, is there a chance or is there a risk of PSC not being extended further? And also, if you can throw some light on the pricing of the gas from the same.
See, actually, you are right. So 25, 26 means it takes about 18 months. We will be able to get back on 26, 27. Okay. You are right that the existing PSC, we believe that will get extended by additional 10 more years. So normally any producing field, they don't shut down, they will give extension. That's what we believe in it. I think government will also do the same thing. So there should not be any issue of continuing the production from PY1. And then your next question is about the price. Now when the volume is too small, we are not able to get a better price. Now this will go up and we will be auctioning the gas with a good volume. We will get a price at least not less than the PPSC.
Understood. And so the next question is on the reserves that you mentioned, that below the ground HOEP has done extremely well. So can you throw some light on what kind of growth have we seen in the reserves during the year, and what can happen in the next 2-3 years?
Yes, I told you that as we are speaking, that the GCA is reviewing the potential of the DIROC. So we are expecting increase in the reserves of the DIROC fleet. Then already GCA has given the P90, P50 number of the DAT. We believe that we will be able to reach in the P50 number move to P90. And we will be doing one exploration well in Kharstan. That would be for the lower region and Tipam and Barrel formation. If that turn out to be successful, substantial additional volume would get added in the Kharstan block. Then we are drilling one exploration well in block 19 that is having a 7 seismic signatures and the chance of success 1 out of 5. And that would be creating at least substantial half of the DIROCs in our opinion. Because these all the projections and these are prospective resources, and it will be get converted into reserves only after drilling the wells. And we are planning for 2 more wells in Aljol and 2 more wells in North Balol. That will also increase our reserve base. And in addition, PY1, there are Mr. Krishnan is well experienced in the basement, and he is finding a difference between the gas water contact in the north and south. One, the gas water contact is in higher, and the other one is in the lower. If you take the higher gas water contact, this block would throw a surprise. The substantial volume unrecovered is still there in PY1. These are our projections for the increase in the reserve base of the company. As and when the activities are taken, then we will be going with the third parties to review not only our in-house, and the external third party will review, and the reserves will get upgraded. And in a manner that we are comfortable, our reserve replacement ratio would be much, much better than any other company.
Thanks a lot, sir. That's very helpful. Just a suggestion. It would be great instead of publishing reserves only in the annual report. It would be great if you could add that to your presentation. That would be very helpful.
What is happening is the production data are different because it is not all the fields come at the same time, right? Some fields are getting reviewed and some things getting in between. So it will create some sort of, we don't want to create a sensation into it because the results are upgraded. We wanted to make it as an annual exercise and we will give it in the balance sheet of that, which we are normally doing on it. And if we find any surprises or which is either way, it may be an impairment or it may be a substantial increase in the potential, we will certainly inform to you.
Great, sir. Thanks a lot and wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Neha Kumari Surana, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Now, so my question is, in the statement provided to the BSE of the outcome of your board meeting, the point number 4 sheets mentions that there have been some amendments to the company's policy regarding the policies of announcement and other things. So what is that amendment that has been done? Is it like you guys will start, coming back to the BSEs and, the normal investors regularly with the updates on if any B1 or any other wells are getting blocked or something like that? And my second question is, if I understand, right after the cyclone during June 2023, there was some kind of, repair and maintenance that was being done, which was nothing but you were trying to remove the blockage, which was like wax was deposited. So at that point of time, this clearing of export line was already being done, and only after that, when we could not clear it out, we told that and we went back to bakers and we appointed them. So now why again we are doing the same exercise? Why was this exercise when it was already done? Why didn't it clear the wax depository at that point of time? Because it is like, sometimes we feel like as an investor we are not being given the...
Can you put the question in the right perspective? Because it's too long a thing I have to understand and answer to you first. First, if I understand your question, the backer is not, why you have not cleaned the export line? The backer job was related to the well.
No, not baker's job. So even before the bakers were appointed, we did, cleared some export lines at that point of time, stating that there are some kind of wax depositories that is there. And if I'm not wrong, some kind of statements were given that we are clearing that, even before the bakers were appointed.
Put your question. So you wanted to engage in a conversation, you are putting a question, I can answer to that, right? The point here is, the line flushing is a continuous process. We have flushed the line at that time with the limited facilities therein. It went up to 162 barrels per hour. Then, when we opened the wells, it started flowing, it started coming down. The chemical injection is not helping much. The line is standard 162 barrels, started coming down to 160, 90, 92 and comes down to 60 barrels. So every time when you put a chemical, that goes up to 90 barrels. Then again within few days it comes down to 40 barrels. Again we are putting chemicals, it's going. So it is not a facilities available. We are not a bigger company to have the facilities in-house. We have to mobilize the boiler and other equipment required to flush the line. Then now the line has come down to less than 40 barrels. We have mobilized the company, the well equipment company from, they have mobilized some Halliburton equipment, other equipment are mobilized with the high pressure pumps that is on the field. So if we again cleaned up, after 3 months, if that again get blocked, we have to go and clean up again. Now what happened as a routine, we will be clean up in 3 months.
Okay. Second question is the update that you have provided in the outcome of board meeting document, wherein you are told that there is some kind of amendment that is being done in the company's policies regarding the announcements and other things. So can you please throw more light on this?
This is based on the SEBI regulation, LODR regulations. We wanted to comply with in full. So accordingly, we amended our disclosure requirements as a part of our corporate governance.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Parshiva, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Sir, I remember there were some pressure issues initially when both the wells were functioning, and for that we were supposed to buy a compressor to manage the pressure of the wells. But I guess now that the gas is only not coming too much out of the well, is the pressure issue still there? Second thing, after fixing whatever we are fixing at VAT, and if gas comes more and the oil comes more, so then again, do we have to manage the pressure, because of which the flow will, if we cannot manage the flow because we cannot manage the pressure, for that we have to buy a compressor. So have you, can you just put some light on that? That is my first thing. Second thing is, last time in the con call, it was mentioned whatever the outcome may be, after the Baker guys have worked, you will come to the investor community or the shareholders who are the co-partners of the company and inform us that it is done and XYZ is the result, whatever the result may be, positive or negative. So I'm assuming last time you suggested they were going to come in February, and if they have come in February, it's been like 4 months, February, March, April, May, we are almost in June now. So we are getting an update in June. I don't know when they have come, but in the con call it was suggested last week of February. So what really happened that you failed to inform the investor community or your co-partners or the co-holders of the company, and you are informing us in this con call right now? So this is two of it. The last thing is very small that I wanted to ask is the penalty on the gas that we had done with the GSPC last year, which we failed to give them the amount of gas they had asked for. So how did we compensate, or what really happened thereafter, So can you please go ahead and inform?
Okay, compressors we will decide once we know the flow rates. So what is happening is getting a well activated and getting the well on continuous production to know its capacity. The moment I inform simply the well is get activated, the next question comes to me as how much is the production thereon. I won't be in a position to tell on that. That's the reason it has not been informed to the exchange usage. In terms of LODR regulations, it is affecting how much it comes. I have to give you a materiality of it, right? So simply saying that it is open, it doesn't serve much purpose. That's the reason it has not been informed. No intention to hold any information to anyone. That's the fact. Second thing, the compressor which you said, we will be knowing only after flowing the well for some more period. At this stage, I can't say anything on it, whether it is really needed or not needed. So these are the fundamental problems we are addressing one by one. Now, the third one is about your penalty, right? In all our gas sales contracts, there is a force majeure clause. The force majeure clause is very wide, which talks about not only cyclone and any disruption to our topside facilities and our reservoir issues would be construed and termed as a force majeure. We have given a constructive notice to the GSPC. It is within their knowledge. So, however, they've raised a demand for the shortfall of the quantity. We have given a reply to them. And that's the fact of the matter at the moment.
So going ahead, would there be a penalty? Is there
If there is any penalty comes when we are not able to perform and everything is being normal. If there is any situation beyond our control comes into play, the force majeure kicks in. So we are not obligated to supply that quantity. That is the terms of the contract.
As on date, can I assume that it is already solved and there will be no penalty for this current, the last financial year? That it will not come?
It all has been solved. If somebody raises a dispute, you have to go through the mode of resolving the dispute, right?
Okay. And sir, is there any minimum support price for this contract that we have renewed this time with 12% crude Brent?
So there is a quantity. So we have gone for a minimum quantity, and then we are asking them as and when we are able to produce more, then we talk to them in advance and increasing it.
No, sir, I'm talking about the minimum support price. Like tomorrow crude crashes.
It's a standard one. We put them actually, the price should not go below the PPAC price.
Okay, and that is what right now currently?
8.9 or something.
Okay. Thank you so much. Really helps, sir.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Rushabh, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
हेलो
नमस्कार
साहब वो अपना दिया 30 mm FCD अपना यहाँ डीरॉक्स है, कुछ आइडिया दे सकते हो? और दूसरा, मैंने सुना ये नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स में ये मॉनसून के टाइम पे ऑफटेक वैसे भी बहुत कम होता है बिकॉज ऑफ ऑल दिस मेंटेनेंस एंड ऑल. मतलब ये आज 5-10 साल की हिस्ट्री है फॉर नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स. तो अभी नेक्स्ट क्वार्टर में हम लोग एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं कि अभी ऑफटेक थोड़ा कम हो जाएगा बिकॉज ऑफ ऑल दिस मेंटेनेंस लास्ट 5 साल की हिस्ट्री पकड़ के?
ऐसा नहीं होता है एक्चुअली. नॉर्मली टी गार्डन्स के अभी सब्सटेंशियल डिमांड गोस देयर. टी गार्डन्स बंद हो गए तो कम होगा. अदरवाइज इट इज द स्टैंडर्ड BCPL एंड all the refineries and whatever the power plants, if all of them are functional, then there should not be a drop in the demand. But what is happening is हमारे लिए एक प्रॉब्लम है प्राइस का. हमारा प्राइस ज़्यादा है एंड नॉमिनेटेड ब्लॉक्स का प्राइस कम है. तो
मतलब तो लास्ट 5 साल से आपका रिजल्ट और प्रेजेंटेशन पढ़ता हूँ तो देखता हूँ कि ये अभी जो क्वार्टर का रिजल्ट आएगा, मतलब ये मॉनसून क्वार्टर का, तो उसमें कम हो जाता है ऑफटेक. लास्ट 5 साल का रिकॉर्ड है HOEC का. तो ये साल भी आप वो रिकॉर्ड मेंटेन करोगे?
भाई साहब हमारा रिकॉर्ड नहीं है, ईस्टर्न रीजन का रिकॉर्ड है. मैं क्या करूँ?
हाँ सॉरी, ईस्टर्न, माय मिस्टेक सर. तो ईस्टर्न रीजन का रिकॉर्ड हो सकता है वापस एज अ स्टैंडर्ड आई थिंक.
इसलिए तो गैस ग्रिड होने के बाद कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा. गैस
तो
एक्टिविटी होने के बाद प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी.
1-1.5 साल के बाद होगा ना? 1-1.5 साल के बाद होगा गैस ग्रिड, अभी तो कुछ नहीं होगा, राइट?
नो, हम लोग तो बोल रहे हैं दे वर ट्राइंग टू गेट इट कनेक्टेड.
तो वो अक्टूबर में हो रहा है दुलियाजान वाला लाइन?
या लाइन हो रहा है अभी. हमारा लाइन आधा कंप्लीट हो गया, वो आल्सो गेटिंग कनेक्टेड नाउ.
तो वो अक्टूबर में हो जाएगा?
तो प्रॉब्लम है, इट विल गेट सॉल्व्ड.
नहीं, वो कब तक होगा मैं वो पूछ रहा हूँ. टाइम वो अक्टूबर तक होगा, नवंबर तक होगा, कब तक होगा?
भाई साहब मैं तो बता नहीं सकता, ये हमारा हाथ में नहीं है एक्चुअली.
नहीं, आइडिया ले रहा हूँ सर आइडिया ले रहा हूँ. ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि स्टैम्प पेपर पे लिख के दो. आइडिया ले रहा हूँ. आपको तो पता होता है ना, ये धंधे में हो तो वैसे.
तो आइडिया तो 6 मंथ में होना चाहिए सर.
कौन से मंथ में?
6 मंथ में, 6 मंथ में होना चाहिए.
6 मंथ में? अच्छा, 6 महीने में हो जाना चाहिए. तो चांसेस है कि नहीं? फैंटास्टिक सर. और सर ये अभी कुछ इक्विपमेंट बदल रहे हो आप DAC में? अभी जो आप बंदे लोग जाएंगे उधर कुछ पाइप बदलोगे या कुछ होस बदलोगे या कुछ वगैरह बदलने वाले?
भाई साहब सबका रिपेयर करके इनसे बदलना तो बहुत मुश्किल होगा. सबका क्या रिप्लेस कर सकता है, हम लोग रिप्लेस कर रहा है. कोई रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकता है, उसका थोड़ा अच्छा तरीका मेंटेन करने के लिए सोच रहा है.
अच्छा, तो अभी रिप्लेस भी करोगे 7 दिन में? कुछ रिप्लेस भी होगा इक्विपमेंट?
कुछ इक्विपमेंट थोड़ा रिप्लेस हो रहा है, कुछ इक्विपमेंट थोड़ा अच्छा मेंटेन हो रहा है. तो थोड़ा मुश्किल है, कर रहा है काम. वी आर डूइंग द वर्क.
नहीं सर, आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई और अच्छे शब्द आपके लिए जो आप मेहनत कर रहे हो. दुआ करूँ कि आप आगे बढ़ो जीवन में सर.
थैंक यू, बहुत धन्यवाद जी आपके लिए.
जी सर, आनंद है आपके.
थैंक यू जी. थैंक
जी.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Neha Kumari Surala, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Hello. Is it audible?
Yeah.
Just wanted to discuss one thing. So this is something which might be taken in a wrong way, but please try adjust in the right way. My question is like, as someone else also mentioned this in the call, that why the details, of the blockage or reopening or all those things are not provided in time to the public investors. So now what is happening is I can see that even before the say for example in the June month, if I'm not wrong, when this happened, this particular cyclone. So when the results were announced, the result had drastically fell down, and once it fell down, another 2 days, even before the information was out through the conference call that the B81 is on now hold and it is not working anymore. There was the share price was reduced to almost 45-50% within the 2 days matter. So this kind of insider thing trading is being done by some or the other way. So we are not sure what is exactly happening around, and this is because the details are not out in time. Can we do something for the public investors so that the retailers are not stuck in this stock just because something else is being done by few other people? Can we do something on this?
So we are doing all compliances in terms of the SEBI LODR. That's what I can say you. I do not know why the share price comes up and goes down. This is not in my control. Whatever the information are required to be communicated to the exchange, we are doing it. And wherever the material information are to be given to the exchange, we are giving it either negative or positive. This is what we have been doing. We'll continue to do that in future also.
In that way, as a solution, can we keep the conference call on the same day when the results are announced, like so many other companies who are doing this? So what happens is the people who are doing this mischief, they get 2 days or 3 days of time to do all this mischief. If the conference call is kept on the same day of the results when they are announced, the timeline will be reduced and obviously the retailers will be saved out of this. So why can't we do that? Is it possible?
I can't answer to your perceptions, because be careful about the wordings which you are using, mischief and other things, which I don't have privy to any of those things, right? And second thing is, this is a smaller company. We have a board meeting held outside Chennai. Then we have to travel back to Chennai to keep ourselves prepared. Till the board results are declared out, we will not be putting into any write-ups or our investor presentation, which can be prepared and get uploaded on the very next day. But to the best of our ability, if the meetings are held in Chennai, the very next day we used to have the meeting. Now in this case, 1 day delay. We had the meeting on day 4 yesterday, and only 1 day we took, because we reached on the very early about 2 o'clock and 2:30 in the morning. We prepared everything yesterday, and today we uploaded. And if the meetings are held in Chennai, so we can work late and go to the next day itself. Okay, this is what the answer I can give.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Mohammed Patel with Care Portfolio Manager Private Limited. Please go ahead.
So what is the reserves number P plus P as of FY24? FY24, as of FY24.
No, I think it's too much to predict at this stage.
So we will only get this number in the annual report?
Which one?
The reserve number, which was 40.
There, right? We have declared the results, right?
The reserves number, which was 40 in FY23.
Huh?
The reserve number was 40 in FY23.
The reserves will be given. I mean, I'm not able to hear your questions clearly. Can you just tell me what is the question, Mr. Mohammed?
The reserves number in FY23 was 40. So what is that number in FY24?
So we will give that number in the annual report, because the number which we are having is different. but that we will be announcing to everyone there into the time itself.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
Okay. What is the duration of the new price contract of BAT where prices are now 12% of Brent?
It's about 1 year.
Okay. Thank you. That's it from me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question for today. We have reached the end of question and answer session. I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Okay, thank you. We continue to focus on achieving the optimum production from both the wells of D1 and D2 of BAT and to increase the uptake from Iraq. We will also embark on drilling development wells in Kashmir, Western region, FY1, to enhance the production from the discovered reserves as well as resources. In addition, we plan to test the untested sands in Iraq field during the ongoing workover and an exploratory well in Block 19 and also a well in Kashmir in order to increase the reserves and the resource base of the company. We have reasonably increased our talent pool to meet our growth targets. We once again thank you all for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of Valorem Advisors, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect your lines.
Thank you.